Here is the brief home workout. First, neck range of motion, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoulder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move the camera. Get on the floor. Hip range of motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can certainly do more reps if you don't feel loosened up. Now, one circuit. Squats into a chair. The chair is braced on something sturdy. Feet about shoulder width. Hinging back into the chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm going to push-ups. We're right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do our rows with laundry detergent. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put those down. Now the bird dog. Let's lower that a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The explanations on the how are coming up. Hey, this is Dr. Steve. One of the most important things we can do right now is to stay fit and even use this as an opportunity to do a little self-assessment, maybe to fix a couple of little aches and pains. So I'm going to go over 3 very important areas to start with a little assessment: your neck, your shoulders, and your hips. Before we get started, see the link in the notes below. There's something called the PAR-Q, Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire. Do your due diligence, take a look at it. If anything shows up, you're supposed to see your doctor to get approval to start an exercise program. That being said, let's get started. Your neck, range of motion, forward and back, side to side. So what does that look like? You should be able to touch your chin to your chest with your mouth closed, and then get your head back, like this. Is it pretty flat, forehead to chin? And then side. Can you turn? Notice I'm turning my head, neck. I'm not rotating my torso. Get an accurate assessment. One side, Can you turn like that? Then the other side. Can you turn? Very good. If it's very limited, unequal side to side, this is something you need to correct. How do you correct that? Just do the reps. This is a great warm-up for exercise. Forward, back, about this speed. How many reps? Enough reps to make you feel loose. Is that 5? Is it 10? Maybe it's 20. Same thing side to side. I'll do it this way. Side, 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 side. Shoulders. You take your arm, reach across. Take your arm, reach across. Take your arm, reach across. Same thing this side. Is it limited? Then you need to work on it. Make believe you're pulling something. So make believe you have that cable. Believe it or not, that will be very effective. Reach across. Take your arm, reach across. Take your arm, reach across. 5 or 10, warms up the shoulders. Now the hips. Let me move the camera. And let's get on the carpet. And can you sit 90-90 and just roll your hips the other way? Do you have that mobility in your hips? Especially this side's my right side. Here, that's called internal rotation. A lot of people have very limited internal rotation. So can you go side to side? I like to be able to do this with my hands on my head, side to side, just nice and easy. Great warm-up. One of the best things you can do. You'll be amazed at how much this helps your lower back when you get the mobility in your hips. So if you do your neck, do your shoulders, do your hips. What you can do with this one to make it a little bit more of a strength exercise is when you're here, I push into the ground with my feet. So I'm taking my foot, pushing it into the ground, taking the side of my knee, pushing it into the ground, this side, pushing it into the ground. This side, pushing it into the ground, pushing it into the ground. Okay, now we're warmed up. What's the next thing we can do? Let's do push-ups. A lot of videos on push-ups. However, most people are not doing push-ups correctly. I don't want you to get hurt, especially through your shoulders. So, with the push-up, let's go ahead and just get in the plank position. So can you maintain this position? Body straight. People always say flat back. Well, the back has a natural curve. It's called a lordosis. You want to maintain the curve that you already have by strengthening all the muscles around here, which we're going to do as well. But push-ups are a great way to strengthen that. I'm going to use my entire hand, all 5 fingers, and get rooted into the floor with my hands, rooted into the floor with my toes. So just stay in this position and push into the ground with your hands. Just stay there. Now, when you lower, can you lower not with your elbows straight out to the side? So the push-up shouldn't look like that. And I'm going to be on an angle here. And can you lower down with your elbows about 45 degrees to your side? So pull your body down into the push-up. Yes, you heard me right. Pull your body down into the push-up. Let's move this back. And again, I'm going to show you from the front and from the back. So we're here. I'm going to pull my body down slowly and drive it up. So that elbow to torso angle stays consistent. I'm locking it in. The other thing I can do is root myself into the floor so it's like I'm turning a dial toward the pinky side of my hand. What does that do? It takes the crease in the elbow, called the cubital fossa, this little crease, and it turns it forward. So when I plant down, I root and I turn and I get myself in the right position. keep my shoulder in the right position, and I'm actually turning on my lats, making everything safe for the shoulders. And I can go down. If this is it, then that's it. That's okay. The other part is what's happening to your back. So I'm going to do it from this side. And lower down, slowly pull myself into the push-up and push myself out of it. Now, what's happening to my back? Can I maintain that back curve as I go down? Many people are going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's great. But over time, and I've been doing this a really long time, 35 years, over time, it's going to cause a problem. Will it be next week, next month, next year? I don't know, but in my clinical world, it's going to cause a problem somewhere down the line. So I want you to do it correctly. So now I can take the third step, right? And just pull myself down and come back up. Pull myself down, come back up. I can be tight through here. So what does that mean? Tight. Best way to get tight, forget about everything else. Just whack yourself. You'll get tight. You'll get tight real fast. Whack yourself on the side especially. Come on, hard. Right in through here. Right? That's how you get tight. Just make believe somebody's hitting you. You'll get tight real fast. Then you can work your way down the line. You don't have steps. On the knees, gonna get down. Same thing. How far apart should my knees be? Well, I want you to find this bony prominence in the front here. It's called your anterior superior iliac spine. Feel that bony prominence and use that as the width for your knees and for your feet. So I'm at the right width. Can walk my hands out a little bit, and I can be up on my toes or I can be toes down, either way, and slowly lower down, control it, come back up. So you can do it at about this pace, and at the top, give a good hard push into the floor. You don't have to go into what we call a scapular push-up. That's a whole nother thing. We're not going to review that right now, but I want you to slowly pull yourself down, push, really get everything tight on the push. So down, push, pull down, push. Pick your version of a push-up. There you go. Next, we can do a chair sit or a squat. What I'm going to do is put my feet the same width as the chair. For most people that will work, you can use your shoulder width. My feet are going to be straight or slightly toed out, but not toed out like a plie. So I've got my feet. I'm going to have my feet just a few inches forward of the chair. Because as I go down, if I miss, clunk. Now, notice I have the chair against a huge, incredibly sturdy table. You can put the chair against the wall. I would not put the chair out in the middle of a room. So what's your job here? You're going to put your hands out in front, and you're going to simply sit down. So when you sit down, you're not going to go like this, straight down. You're going to sit back. So we're going to find that same spot, that ASIS that we talked about on the push-up. And I want you to push that ASIS back. And as your hips hinge, your knees are going to bend. So you sit back into the chair. So put your arms out. Control, 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 control. And just sit. If you need a riser, put a pad or a pillow. Go as far down as you can control properly. So it's down, back, and come up. Back and down, down and back. Back and down, down and back. My torso is not collapsing forward. So I'm not doing this. I want to keep that torso up straight. I'm going to reach out with my arms and just sit back. And practice that. From the front, if I were to do it freestanding, I can just sit, my knees track over my feet. Yes, my knees will go a little forward of my toes, no problem there. Sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back, sit back. I can sit into a full squat and come back up. From the side, once I get to body weight, sit. Notice the first move, hinging at the hips, automatically bends my knees. Hinging, back, back, back. Great to practice this as slowly as you can. Slow. Once you feel like you can't control a particular part of the range of motion, freeze in that part of the range of motion. Do an isometric, same length. You're freezing your body position. So right here, I'm going down. Oh, I'm having trouble. Get tight. Remember, get tight. Go down to the next spot. Oh boy, I'm having trouble. Get tight. Stay there. Go to the next spot. Oh, I'm having trouble keeping that position. Oh, pull that shoulders back a little bit. Get tight. And I can continue my squat. Well worth the time to practice this. But start in a chair, and then you can hold a bottle of milk. You can hold a laundry detergent. Those are probably the two biggest containers you have. Certainly if you go to Costco, the laundry detergent and the dish soap, they're pretty big containers. They're pretty heavy. So those are great things to hold. So you're right out here and you're sitting into that chair. So if you fall back, you're safe. Next exercise. What am I going to do for my back? I have no equipment. Laundry detergent. I'm going to get in a position with a hip hinge. So I'm going to hinge like the squat, but in this case, I'm going to let my torso come forward. So I'm hinging back. Look at my body position. I'm not rounded off like this. I'm still up in the rib cage, but I've let my torso come forward. Then I can grab the laundry detergent and I can pull back. Notice when I pull, I'm not crunching up like this. We can do it one at a time if you only have one bottle. When I pull, my forearm is vertical. My forearm is vertical. Okay? Down here, coming back up, so I'm pulling with that elbow. And I can freeze that position. It's great to do an isometric hold at the top of the exercise. Down, so I can do one arm at a time. If I want to do one arm at a time, I can stagger my stance. Lots of different ways to do it. So here's two arms. In the position, I pull. From the rear, I pull back. From the side again, I'm pulling back so that forearm doesn't get all crunched up in here. So I pull. Pulling up, squeeze. Pulling up, squeeze. You'll get quite a leg workout just maintaining this position. Now, how do I finish up with my core? So I love the exercise of the bird dog. Get on the floor. You're going to take a stance that's a short stance. What does that mean? Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So from the front, I'm here like this. What I'm going to do is reach out, opposite arm, opposite leg. So if I take my right arm and reach out, I don't have to worry about how high I get it off the ground. Just reach out, and then I'm going to reach back with my left. go on a little bit of an angle. So I'm going to reach with my right arm, reach back with my left. I'm pulling my toes in, and it's like I'm pushing my heel back. What's that going to do? It's going to get that glute to contract really hard. I'm pushing my fingers. It's going to get all the upper back muscles to contract really hard, and it's going to make a great connection from my shoulder to the opposite hip, really critical. So I'm going to reach back with my leg, push. Don't get it way up high. I don't care if it's 1 inch off the ground. I want you to push back hard. I want you to push forward hard. Push, 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 2-3 seconds. Then come back to here. Push back, push, 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 reach and push, reach and push. Oh, you're going to really feel all this light up, probably like you've never felt before. It is a great exercise. It's really that simple. You can do a push, you can do a pull, you can do a squat, you can do a core exercise. We can make this more involved, many more exercises, but start here. Do the range of motion of your neck, do the range of motion of your shoulder, do the range of motion of your hips, do those exercises, a couple of circuits of 5 to 10 reps. You will be very, very pleased with the results. Hope this helps.